So clearly right is right and wrong is wrong. Evil can never be good and good can never be evil. So while I don't support Israel's genocide of Palestine, I realize that the genocide is wicked and wrong and moral illegal. It's not even in our self-interest. Why keep on financing a massacre that could get us nuked? But it also means that Kamala Harris doesn't understand power. She doesn't know jack shit about power politics. Because all Kamala Harris and Joe Biden would need to do to stop the genocide of Bethlehem, which Jesus is a Palestinian, is just pick up the phone. Pick up the phone and tell Netanyahu to stop it. Pick up the phone and say, listen, Netanyahu, we're not going to give you $23.5 billion. We're not going to finance your massacre. We're not going to keep on giving you the guns and the bombs and the missiles. Threaten to pull the purse strings. Do an arms embargo. We are going to cut the purse strings. We're not going to give you your guns. We're not going to give you your bombs and tanks and airplanes. We're not going to veto the latest UN resolution condemning Israel anymore. You need to stop the massacre. You need to stop the massacre. When I think about how could a person actually be a dictator in America, we have all these tools to stop tyranny. We got the three branches of government. We got elections, the rule of law, Constitution, Bill of Rights, and federalism. All these are put in place to stop tyranny. We don't want a monarch. We overthrew a damn king. We're the republic. We are a confederated republic. We are 50 republics all wrapped up into one. So because we have the three branches of government, and we have elections, and the rule of law, and the Constitution, and the Bill of Rights, and federalism, the way that we would have to be a liberal or a lefty, the way that you would be a dictator, I guess anybody, this is just tactics, so anybody could use it. But the way to be a dictator in America is first you would have to win your election. Then you'd have to convince Congress that your ideas are good enough so that they would pass them. If you can't convince them of the morality of the thing, then you'll have to twist their arms like how LBJ did to the Democrats in order to get the 1964 Civil Rights Act passed. The 1964 Civil Rights Act was passed by a bunch of those Southern Democrats, those Dixiecrats. LBJ was able to get some of the Dixiecrats to vote his way. To be a dictator in America, you must obey the rule of law, so you can't do violent crimes, and you also can't nullify individual freedoms. You can't nullify the individual freedoms listed in the Constitution either. You got to pass laws that are constitutional. Not only do you got to get past the Congress, you got to get past the Supreme Court. You don't want the Supreme Court to invalidate them. You got the three branches. You got to be smart. The states might try to nullify your law, so you'd have to win those governors over. That could be an issue as well. It makes me think of the states who wouldn't accept the funds for health care. You're not going to accept the money from Medicaid? And then that's it. That's it. Those are the tools to prevent tyranny. You got to get the two branches of government on your side. You got to get the people on your side. You got to get the governors on your side. You can't do violent crimes. You can't nullify individual freedoms. So that's it. It's not impossible, but it does require that you understand how America is set up and how America is ran. So while Kamala right now and Genocide Joe has Netanyahu by the balls, even Nixon says that Israel isn't an ally in a technical sense. An ally for what? An ally to genocide Palestine? What are they an ally with? An ally to get us health care? An ally to stop our homelessness and our poverty and the police brutality? It's incredible. Kamala can eye-roll Dougie Doug into submission, right? Well, Dougie Doug loves her. But she doesn't know how to stand up to Israel. She doesn't understand power politics. And if she can't even get Israel in line, Israel's only going to do what they're forced to do. People are only nice when they have to be. Kamala doesn't understand power politics. She can't pick up the phone, call Netanyahu, threaten to pull the purse strings, threaten to keep the $23.5 billion out of his hands, threaten to do an arms embargo. If Kamala can't pick up the phone in order to get Netanyahu to do the right thing. How is she going to get Congress to do the right thing? How is she going to get Congress to work the way she wants it to work? Does Kamala know how to use the bully pulpit on issues that are moral and right and correct? Does Kamala know how to give the inspiring last-minute speech to win the game? So while it's not only immoral to not twist Netanyahu's arm to stop the damn massacre, it also shows that she doesn't understand power politics. She doesn't understand power politics. Israel will only do what they're forced to do. People are only nice when they have to be. The same is true with Congress. The same is true with the Supreme Court. The same is true with the Civil Rights Act. The same is true with accepting the funds for Medicaid. You'll need to win your election. And if you're just playing this moral compass game and you're going to be like Abraham Lincoln, you're kind of playing both sides of the fence, and then bam, you're going to lead the Civil War. I don't believe that's what she's doing. I don't believe that's what she's doing. I think we're only going to get whatever she promises us, and we're not even going to get those things. We're supposed to get a public option. We didn't get a public option. Even when they promise us these things, we don't even get them. So if she's not even promising us these things, we're going to push her into a position that she never promised us, she never ran on, something she doesn't even believe. How does that make any sense? Give her all the power and then just be like, hey, please give us some breadcrumbs. So right now, to vote for a third party is absolutely genius. It's saying you're not complicit in this shit. And it's also pulling Kamala to the left. You want to win over the Green Party, you want to win over the independents, then do something worthy of voting for. Do something worthy of getting our vote. Where's Edward Snowden? How come we haven't got Edward Snowden back in? Mumia Abu-Jamal, how come Leonard Peltier? There's a million things that she could do. How about building homes for the houseless? How about curing the homelessness problem? $5 billion is all you would need. If you give 500,000 Americans a $10,000 home, that's $5 billion. You need some more money for some land, then take $10 billion. $23.5 billion cures the homelessness problem in America. You're telling me that she's going to get police reform? You're telling me that she's going to get... What is she going to get? If she has to have a backbone, you don't want to be completely on, crazy and over the top, but you also don't want to be a damn worm. You got to have a backbone. You got to be formidable. You got to have a sword, but you got to keep it sheathed. So while not wanting to stop the genocide is wicked and wrong and immoral and illegal, it's also not in our self-interest. It means that Kamala Harris doesn't even know jack shit about power politics. So even the things she says that she wants, the tax breaks for the housing thing, you think she'll get it? You think she'll even get those meager breadcrumbs she's promising us? Yeah, right. Bullshit.